Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. This show is all about life transformations and our journey from where we were to why we are doing what we are doing today. We will discuss the hiccups, the roller coasters, and the blood, sweat, and tears that has been poured out while discovering our purpose. It is all about our transformations. Here is your host, Sean Douglas.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Life Transformation Radio. I am your host, Master Resilience Implementer, TEDx speaker, business positioning strategist, and international best-selling author, Sean Douglas. This show is currently heard in over 90 countries. So whether it's your first time joining us or you've been listening to us for some time, I want to thank you to those who are listening from around the world. Life Transformation Radio is all about our transformation. Here, we tell the stories of why we're doing what we're doing, highlighting those transformational moments that change our lives, and how we use it to elevate the world around us. Listen to this show every Tuesday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can join our Facebook group and search for Life Transformation Radio Community right there on Facebook, and go ahead and join that community. We interact with other listeners and the guests that I bring on the show. You can subscribe, rate, and review Life Transformation Radio on your favorite podcast platform, like Apple, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, Player FM, Radio Public, Overcast, CastBox, Himalaya, Google Podcasts. We're available on Pandora, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Life Transformation Radio. On the show, my guests are entrepreneurs, speakers, business owners, coaches, podcasters, authors, amazing people who are impacting everyone around them. And my guest today does exactly that. If you have any questions for any of the guests that I bring on the live show, go ahead and give us a call at 657-383-1109. Again, the number is 657-383-1109. Go ahead and give us a call if you got a question for the guest or myself. My team is standing by to field those questions. And with that, please help me welcome to the show my amazing guest for today, Jeff Marconette Jr. Jeff, welcome to Life Transformation Radio.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
Loved the conversations that we've had. I love your show and what you're doing with Make Every Second Count, and I'm honored to have you on the show, my man. What I want to dive into, and I think would be very relevant to the audience, is not only your story, but what you've done with the story. And I titled this episode, Make Every Second Count. So with that, man, if you're ready to go, let's do this.
Always.
Always. Marconette Jr., the international Make Every Second Count speaker, is a transformational speaker, an author, a coach, a youth mentor, and the host of Make Every Second Count Live on Facebook and on YouTube, all from the sleepy town of Piqua, Ohio. I think that's how you say it, Piqua, Ohio?
No, Piqua.
Piqua. Oh, okay. I was trying to be fancy. Piqua, Ohio. His life was nearly ended at the young age of 17 while waiting to turn at a green light. After 18 years of recovery, which he still continues today, he now sees why it is so important to make every second count. He stresses that point to everyone he works with because very few people ever get a chance at life, and he doesn't want anyone to waste the one they get. It's time for you to stop wasting time and learn how to make every second count. Now stand to your feet, put your hands together for the international Make Every Second Count speaker, Jeff Marconette Jr. His website, his free gift, his YouTube, his Facebook group, his show, right there in the show notes. Connect with him. Let him know that you're digging the episode. You dig what he does. Send him a friend request. Let him know that you listened to this episode of Life Transformation Radio. Jeff, how the heck are you, man?
Oh, I am fantastic, dude. I cannot complain about anything. It's like you don't understand. When you say I was 17 years old, I was involved in this car accident. Yeah, but I was 17 years old and I was an extremely active kid. I played all kinds of sports. I rode BMX all the time. And then on January 7th, 2002, all that ended. And I had to learn who I was when I wasn't able to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I am fantastic each and every day that I'm alive. People say all the time that they're having a good day, a bad day. But my thing is, how can it be anything but a great day when you are alive?
Right. Yeah. How could it be anything other than a great day? I always hear that if you have purpose, or if you have air in your lungs, you have purpose in your heart. That's what I hear a lot of.
Exactly.
I absolutely love that. But I want to figure out right now, man, the first question that I ask every single guest, and I believe is the most important question you could be asked, is why? Why do you do what you do?
Well, my main target audience is kids 11 through 19 years of age, but I can really talk to anyone, and I just have a special place in my heart for that age group. I mean, I was 17 when all that happened to me, and I've learned all this stuff now, and if I would have known all this stuff now about being happy, being joyful, being grateful, and having perspective, then I would have been able to accomplish anything at the young age of 17.
Wow. What do you, when you tell people that, what's their response? It's got to be amazing.
Honestly, I really don't know. I mean, I have talked to a lot of people, and
Sure.
a lot of people have seen my YouTube videos and my Facebook videos and even my episodes. And I really haven't heard from that many people about what they think, but I have had a few people that have commented back, and one guy I remember said, "Jeff, before hearing your story, I was honestly contemplating suicide. I
Wow.
didn't know where I was going to go with my life. I didn't know what was going to happen in the world, but I knew I didn't want to be a part of it. And seeing what you went through and everything that you've gone through since that day, I know now that I can accomplish anything." And that just completely shocked me.
So cool. That's so cool, man. I love that feeling when I'm speaking at events, and I'm sure you feel the same way. When you get the head nods from people when you say something on stage, and they're following along and they're listening intently, and they're just like, yeah, and their heads nodding. I love to acknowledge that in people.
Yeah.
And then the people that come up to you afterwards who want to shake your hand and go, wow, what a story. Wow. Yes, I'm talking to 100 people. I'm happy if 2 people come up to me and tell me how much they loved it, because it mattered to them.
You know what? I'm happy with one person. It doesn't matter how big the crowd is. If I can reach one person, if I see something in the audience or something on somebody's face that makes me know I've done a good job, that makes all of it worth it. It doesn't matter what I am paid for that event, what I'm not paid for that event, where I stayed the night before, where I'm staying tonight. It doesn't matter at that moment. The only thing that matters at that moment is I know I did my job. My job is complete.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I never want to think I'm bigger than I really am, but I always want to make sure that I have a heart of service, and never lose focus of that. I think, yeah, I think that's the best way,
I concur.
in my opinion. In my opinion. So let's talk about the show is about transformation, and we all go through these transformational moments. And I'm sure since 17, you've had quite a few. I would venture to say that you have had quite a few transformational moments. But I'm curious, what sticks out for you? What would you say is the transformational moment of your life that happened to you, and it also puts you on the path to what you're doing today?
Well, I would say the transformational moment was my accident when I was 17. And that has really put me on the path. And I went back to high school with my class, and I missed like half a year, which I made up during the summer after I got out of the hospital. But I still graduated with my class, and I before my accident, I had all these dreams. I was in school to be an engineer, and I was actually in a pre-engineering class, which is a college prep course, and then I had ideas of possibly going into the armed services and getting my education for free. And I just had all kinds of dreams like that. And that all had to change with me. Like, I couldn't walk after my car accident. I couldn't talk after the accident. In fact, I spent 2.5 months in a coma. And everything that I wanted to do was gone. And it all had to change. But then one day I met this man. His name is Dr. Ruben West. And he runs the Black Belt Speakers. And I went to his event in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And I found out I actually won a Sharing My Voice award at that event. And I decided I was going to be in his next compilation book. And I came home and told my mom. She was so proud of me. She was so excited. So, I don't know. It was amazing. Nothing short of amazing. And I came home right on like October 4th. And I told her that. And I was planning on getting started with it. And October 21st came. And my mom had her heart stopped. And
wow,
we lost my mom that night. And
holy cow.
Then at her viewing, when I was standing there shaking hands with the line and saying thank you to everyone who came. I was completely shocked that Reuben West walked into that room. A man that I had just met at the beginning of that month, who wasn't even from the same state that I'm from. He lives in Illinois. I am from Ohio. And the fact that he drove all that way just to be there on that day was so eye-opening, so amazing. It taught me that he was a man of service. He was a man that could be trusted. Just by him doing that for me made me want to get involved with him. And I have actually done speaker training with him now. And I have gone through the beginner's class, and now I'm in the advanced class. So I'm still with him 4 years later.
Oh, so cool.
And
so cool.
It's all because of that one event. Seeing him in that place at that time just meant so much to me. And I wanted to reward him for everything that he did for me. So I have put my heart and soul into everything I do. And it is because of Dr. Reuben West.
Very cool. Very cool, man. Thank you for sharing that. That is powerful. Amazing, man. How have you used that transformational moment? You mentioned it, that you were still years later, still working on what you're working on. You're speaking, doing podcasts, Facebook Live shows. How have you elevated the world around you? I think that it's important that we highlight this because some people pause and say, all right, I went through my moment. Now what? Is that it?
Yeah.
Went through a moment. And they go from moment to moment to moment to moment without even realizing what they should do with it. So I ask you, how have you elevated the world around you?
Well, I honestly believe that I elevate the world around me by just being me. I am so thankful for each and every moment. When you are thankful just to be alive and you feel lucky to be here, then how can anything in your day ruin that day? And I tell people that all the time because, yes, I got a second chance at life. And a lot of people, probably most people, are never going to get that chance. And I want them to realize that they can live the way I'm living with this abundant joy, this overflowing gratitude each and every day. But it's going to take work. But don't wait because, like I said, you probably won't get that second chance.
Mm-hmm.
So take your first chance and do it. Because if I would have known that when I was 17, my life would have been so much different from the moment I was born to the transformational moment of my car accident. It would have been so much different. It would have been filled with abundant joy. It would have been filled with happy moments instead of the rough moments that you have as a teenager, the rough moments you have as a kid. whatever. I'm just telling you guys that you need to wake up. You can't be going through life just willy-nilly, just letting things go, because they matter. Each and all of them matter. But you have to be thankful. That is one of my biggest things, because if you truly want to be happy, then you need to find gratitude. And gratitude exists around the world, and you just need to look for it. You can't be looking for other things, because that's not going to lead to gratitude. You know, I actually want to do something with your audience right now. So,
okay.
You can follow along with this too. But, so, I want you to look around your room for the next 15 seconds and find everything that is red. And you don't have to tell me, but remember how many red things you see. And if you are in a car right now, don't do this. But if you're somewhere you can do this safely, then look around the room. Find all the red things and remember them. All right, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now close your eyes. Now leave them closed, but think about all the yellow things around the room. It's much harder when you're not looking for them, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm saying when you look for things to be thankful for, you're going to find things to be thankful for. When you don't look for things to be thankful for, guess what? They're going to be harder to see.
Find them.
So you have to express your gratitude. You have to look for your gratitude. You can't just let it go. You can't think that, hey, because it's there, I know it's there. No, you have to look at it. You have to see it. You have to say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gratitude has, and I speak a lot about this in my resilience training. Gratitude has been scientifically linked in studies to lowering stress, anxiety, and depression.
Yep.
Gratitude has been the number one way to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. It's also the best way that I know how to explain to somebody why my mindset is always what's great about this. It's a habit. This is what my TEDx talk was about. My TEDx talk was about hacking your brain for success. And how do you do that? By having a gratitude habit, by having a plan, searching for the things that you're searching for, and not sitting there going, well, woe is me, and it's never going to happen for me. I'm never going to be successful. Well, like, what are you going to do? You got to do something. So be grateful.
Exactly.
Be absolutely grateful. So, yeah, definitely, man. Great gratitude is huge.
Yeah, you actually just said something else that I stress all the time, is look for what you want. Like, you're not going to find, you only find what you look for. Like, Dr. Wayne Dyer has this this little talk that he does, that he went in, he was inside his house, flipping his keys up in the air, and boom, all of a sudden the lights went out. And he couldn't see anything, but he dropped his keys. He looked outside, and the street lights were on. So he has an idea. I'll just go outside and look for my keys. So he goes out in the street and starts looking for his keys, and his neighbor eventually comes out and says, "What are you doing, Wayne?" And Wayne says, "I'm looking for my keys. I dropped them. I don't know where they are." And so now his neighbor and him are fumbling around in the street looking for his keys. And his neighbor says, "Well, Wayne, where did you drop your keys?" He says, "Well, I dropped them in the house." And his neighbor looks at him like, "Well, then
like, what
the heck are you doing out here looking for them?" And the thing is, why are you guys looking for something that you're not going to find in a different place? Such as you might find happiness in a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but you won't find joy in a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You see, that all comes from inside. And the fact that you have to have a mindset of joy, you have to have your heart set on joy before you can find joy. Yeah, you can find happiness, but happiness is fleeting, just like our lives. They're going to end. They're going to go away. They're going to change. But joy will always be there with you, helping you. So I think joy is very important. So remember, we have to look for what we want. And you can't look for things like happiness all the time. If you work on your mind, you will find the joy that I'm speaking of.
Right on, man. Good point. So with everything that's going on in 2020, it's been kind of a crazy year, man. How do we make every second count? What's your message for if they listen to nothing else from this episode and they tune in right now to this moment? What is your message to the listeners?
You know, I have a friend named Sarah who says that gratitude is making every second count. That if you're thankful for each and every moment, then you're making them count. And it's just funny because I really am taken back by that, because it took me a long time to realize that. And it took her a very short amount of time. And I was surprised by that. And I absolutely love that. But if they want to learn to make every second count, follow me or subscribe to me on YouTube. In fact, I have all my shows up there. Well, the newer ones I have up there. And we help people make every second count. Because a big part of my life is helping other people. And if that doesn't seem like your thing, like you don't want to go to YouTube and subscribe, then go to my website, which is www.jeffmarconetejr.com. Oh, and you can go to the journal section on that page, and you can download the first 7 days of my new journal. Now, my new journal is called Make Every Second Count, a 1,500-hour journal. And the first 7 days is actually on gratitude. So it's a big thing that we've been talking about. But it's all about helping people see life differently and helping them get some perspective on life and give them some long range goals on life. And I find this book to be amazing. Now, it hasn't sold a ton, but actually it hasn't been out that long. But I think it really should sell a ton, because I think if people find this book, they're going to find happiness. They're going to find joy. And they're going to be more grateful. And they're going to let their greatness shine.
And more people need to do that. I think people are afraid to do that. Stepping out of their comfort zone is hard for people.
Yeah. Exactly. But happiness and joy aren't found in your comfort zone. Nothing that you want is found in your comfort zone. You have to leave that sometime.
Yep. Because if you don't, then you're just stuck and you don't grow.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what people fail to realize. I can stay in my comfort zone the whole time, but if I do, I won't grow.
Yeah, I forget who it is that says that if you're not growing, you're dying.
If you're not growing,
that is so true.
Yep. Absolutely, man. So what I want to do, man, so you have a free gift, man. So you talked about that, your YouTube, your show. Your show is live. Make Every Second Count live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Everybody join into that. Go to his website. Click on his social media links. Check out his Facebook. Make Every Second Count movement on Facebook. Go join that. But get involved with what he's doing. He's got amazing, amazing tools for you. And he's inspiring and he's motivating. And I just love what you're doing, man. So honored to have you on the show. This has been absolutely incredible. I know the listeners are getting a lot out of it. And just to see how you battled back from what seemingly was, an end-of-life moment. Not just a transformation. This was an end-of-life moment. And you came back from that. And you have a story to tell. And I always tell people that your mess is your message and your test is your testimony. And you have both. A powerful message and a powerful testimony, my man.
Thank you. I really, people don't understand when I say I was in a car accident and I say I was in a coma, they just think of the coma that they've seen on TV. Where people just come out of it and they be like, hey, I want a hamburger. No, it's not like that. It's a very slow process. And in fact, when a lot of people come out of their coma, they have lost the abilities to walk, to talk, to eat, to drink. They've lost all kinds of abilities. And you see, there was that time where I couldn't sit up in bed. There was that time where I looked at my mom and told her that I didn't want to close my eyes. And when she asked me why, I told her that I'm afraid I won't open them again. And when a parent has to hear that from their 17-year-old child or their 3-year-old child, it doesn't matter how old they are. If the parent has to hear that from a child, something is wrong, really wrong. And I don't know. I try to help people every day. And I am on this journey. Yeah, I say journey because it's not something that happens overnight. I mean, I've been in physical therapy now for almost 19 years. And at every step, walking or getting into the wheelchair out of bed, they told me I could quit this therapy thing now because I was in a wheelchair. And people lived every day in a wheelchair and they're happy. I said, yeah, they probably are, but I'm not. So I got to walking with a walker. They were surprised. They're like, this is probably the best you can expect, Jeff. We didn't even really expect you to get this far, but you're doing it, man. You can quit this therapy thing now. People live every day walking with a walker, and they're happy. I said, yeah, they probably are, but I'm not. So I kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting, and I got to the point where I could walk with the cane. And needless to say, they were all excited. They didn't expect it, and I kind of had my doubts in my head too. But they told me at that time, you can quit this therapy thing at any time. People live every day walking with a cane, and they're happy. I said, yeah, they probably are, but I'm not. So they were shocked when I said that because this was coming from somebody that they didn't think would walk. And I wanted to keep going once I was on with the cane. And they didn't understand it. But I kept fighting and fighting and fighting and never giving up on myself. And fighting some more. And I got to walking with nothing. Absolutely unassisted. They were excited. They couldn't believe it. And like I said, honestly, I had my doubts too. But they said to me at that time, Jeff, you've done it, man. You're walking. You can quit this therapy thing now, finally. And I said, yeah, I probably could, but I'm not. You see, I'm going to run. Nobody's going to stop me from running. Running is something I want to do. That is my main goal. And I wanted to show other people that they can do it too. That just because somebody told them that they can't do something, because it didn't work for other people, so it's definitely not going to work for you. No, don't listen to that, because let me tell you right now, things are possible. And they're possible for each and every one of us, so don't give up on yourself. Never, never, never give up on yourself. Because, like, when you see me running by, remember that I never gave up, and because of that reason, I'm here now. I'm running now. And remember that that's all because I never gave up. So follow me with this on this journey, because things are possible and you can do them too.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, man. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. This is absolutely amazing. A great, great, inspiring message. And, I wish you the best for the rest of 2020, man.
Thank you. I've put together like 5 virtual events now, and I'm planning my 6th virtual event, and they're called the Get Up events, but we've had the Get Up and Be the Change. We've had Get Up Unity Summit, and the next one is going to be called the Get Up and Be Thankful. And I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we'll check that out for sure.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, man. Like I said, man, I wish you the best for the rest of 2020, man. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Life Transformation Radio listeners, an amazing guest impacting the world around him. If anything's resonated with our conversation today about making every second count and our guest, Jeff Marconette Jr., please reach out to him. Go to jeffmarconettejr.com. It's right there in the show notes. Check out his free gift that he's got, the journal. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Check out his Facebook group, Make Every Second Count Movement. And look at his show on Facebook live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Make Every Second Count live. Subscribe to Life Transformation Radio on your favorite podcast platform. Go ahead and click that button now. Thank you so much for your ratings and your reviews. And until next time, live your brand. Find opportunities every day to live out the core values that you hold deep in your heart. And I call this living your brand. So until next episode, live a great life.